If you're looking for a relatively lightweight scope that gives us all of the features we need in a long-range hunting scope while saving cost and weight by eliminating features we don't need, stay tuned while we take a look at the Maven RS.3.
All right, today we're going to talk about the Maven RS.3 5-30 and the MOA. And we'll kind of go over the features here, and then I'll do a couple drop-ins to look at some of the things in a close-up. So we'll just start with the reticle, and I'll do a drop-in of the reticle as I...
All right, so here we have a view of the Maven RS.3. This is the MOA reticle that we've got in the scope that we've been testing. So you can see over here what it looks like at 5 power. So big picture, you know, you've got the nice fat line here, and it kind of draws your eye into the center, and then you can place this on the animal. Like where I see a lot of guys using this would be on if you're in a still hunting situation. So you're in dark timber or whatever, you dial the power down in case you need to make a quick shot at an animal. And this is going to definitely allow you to put the crosshairs on the animal and put the bullet where it's supposed to go. Now, for long range hunting purposes, we've got what it looks like at 30 power, and this is where I anticipate most guys would be using it, and I find it to be a very usable reticle. Now, at 30 power, you can see the outer edges here are very fat, which is kind of mandatory so that we can actually have this kind of view when it's at 5 power. But in the center of it, it's very usable. I actually prefer this dot in the very center, and then no lines for a little while out here, and then we've got the 1 minute hash marks out to 10. I don't ever see myself holding for elevation, but if you needed to add a quick 1 minute or 2 minutes or whatever on a follow-up shot, it's definitely usable, just like most reticles. And then for windage holds, it's very usable. And then when you're really needing that fine work, where I see using this is more in load development. But once you start practicing on steel or actually shooting animals, it's not necessarily as important to have this gap here. But for real precise shooting, I really enjoy it. So there it is. A look at it at 5 power and a look at it on 30 power. I really like the reticle. I find it to be very usable for both ends of the spectrum.
So we'll come back out here, take a look at the zoom ring. It's very smooth as you change from 5 to 30 power. It's, you know, what I would expect from a $1,600 scope. It's very nice. It's got the side parallax, which I would consider to be standard as well, and it is very smooth, and I found it to work just like you would expect on any scope. The turrets here, they're 15 minutes per rev. It does have a zero stop. It's a friction ring style zero stop, very quick and easy to set with a set screw. And it is not quite as nice as something internal like the Zeiss, the Vortex scopes, the Night Force scopes, but it does probably save a little bit of money, and you can definitely tell that the scope gives you a lot of bang for the buck. So it might be worth it to some that really aren't that interested in having the best possible zero stop setup. It does allow you to set zero stop, and you're definitely not going to lose track of where your zero is, so it does serve the function. It does have both right and left windage markers. It's quarter-minute clicks, and they're indicated every 1 minute, which is nice, as opposed to just having one all the way around to 15. It is one right, 2 right, 3 right, and then same in the left direction, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the left direction. Very nice. I'm going to do some drop-ins here of the turrets. But all right, here we've got the windage turret, and you can see it's 0, and then it goes 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute right, and then it goes 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute to the left. And we'll turn the turret here and let you listen to it. So it's pretty tactile feeling. I don't think you're going to miss your dial. It's going to go right where you want it every single time. So definitely right in line with other scopes in the price range. And we'll take a look at the elevation here. All right, so here we have the elevation turret, and it's going to feel just like the windage. Very tactile feel, and you can see there the zero stop. The zero stop is this ring right here at the bottom. It's got a little set screw right here. You just loosen that up and turn it to the zero, and then tighten the little set screw, and it's very simple. It does work. You're definitely not going to lose your zero, but it's a little mushy right there because it is just a friction stop. Okay, and while we're taking a look at the turrets here, show you one really cool feature that I haven't seen before. So as far as the zeroing, let's get that down there. Right there's the zero. Just loosen this cap here, and you can barely even tell. I actually had to call when I first got the scope. So this comes off, and then to zero, you just take this off, turn it to wherever your zero is, set it back down, and spin this cap back on and tighten it up, and it's re-zeroed. So I'm going to go ahead and reset that real quickly. Okay, right there, back at the zero, spin that back on, hold on to the bottom half, tighten that top half down, you're good to go. The scope is a very compact scope. It weighs 27 ounces, so it's not going to be too heavy for a lightweight long-range hunting rig. So we'll do some real quick drop-ins. I'll show you the tracking. All right, here are the results of the tracking test on the Maven RS.3, and I just used a fairly accurate 223, and I did it at 50 yards so that I could have the real estate to do tracking, and even at that I ran out of enough space to go to 30 minutes. So there at the bottom, I got it zeroed. We fired a shot. We clicked 10 minutes up, fired a shot, 10 more minutes, fired a shot, 5 more minutes, fired one shot. Then I clicked back down to 20 minutes up, fired a shot, down to 10 minutes up, fired a shot, back down to 0, fired a shot, then back up to 10, back up to 20, back up to 25, then back to 20, back to 10, back to 0. So all in all, you've got 3 shots there at the 0 at 50 yards. You got 4 shots at plus 10 and plus 20, and you've got 2 shots at plus 25. And I did pull a shot there on the 10 plus minutes up, and all of those shots are at the exact mark that they should be. So the 10-minute mark, 10-minute shots are at the 10-minute mark, the 20-minute shots are at the 20-minute mark, and the 25-minute shots are at the 25-minute mark. So the tracking up and down is spot on. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the tracking test, which performed flawlessly, we've taken a look at the turrets on the close-up side and looked at a little bit of video on the zero reset. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. At $1,600, this scope has everything that we need in a long-range hunting scope without the things that we don't need, and saves a couple dollars for those that can't quite make that $2,000 price range. It's very compact, weighs 27 ounces, has very nice turrets. They're not going to leave a whole lot to be desired. There are better, more tactile feeling turrets out there, but you're not going to miss your dial. These are very solid turrets. And then, like I said, the more important part is how it tracks, and it tracked flawlessly. It does have a zero stop, which I would consider mandatory these days. There are better zero stops out there, but this one serves the function. You can dial it up. You could go over 30 minutes and still come back right down to your zero and not even have to worry about it, which is great. I think they did a pretty good job on the reticle. It's usable at the high end, it's usable at the low end. It may not be perfect for both situations, but when you've got a 6x zoom from 5 to 30, it's near impossible to make it the best at both sides. So I think they did a real good job there. Like I said, lightweight, compact, it's got the functions we need. If you're in that $1,600 budget range, you definitely need to take a look at the Maven RS.3. We will have a link in the description to a thread that we'll have for discussion on the scope on longrangeonly.com forum. If you're not a member on longrangeonly.com, it's quick, it's easy to sign up, it's free. We'd love to have you. There's a lot of great guys with a lot of great information on the forum. Go ahead and like the videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on the notifications so you'll see when we have future videos released. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a great day.